नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, बायोलॉजी सेकंड पार्टमधील आपण स्टडी ऑफ ॲनिमल टिश्यू या चॅप्टर्समधील शेवटच्या लेक्चरला इंट्रोडक्शन, सेल्स म्हणजे काय, टिश्यू म्हणजे काय, ऑर्गन सिस्टम म्हणजे काय, बॉडी म्हणजे काय, त्याच्यानंतर सेलचे टाईप्स, सोमॅटिक सेल, जर्म सेल, हिस्टॉलॉजी म्हणजे काय स्टडी केलं आपण. इपिथेलियल टिश्यूचे 4 टाईप्स, इपिथेलियल, कनेक्टिव्ह, मस्क्युलर अँड नर्वस टिश्यू मधील इपिथेलियल टिश्यूचे इंट्रोडक्शन आपण स्टडी केले. तसेच इपिथेलियल टिश्यूमधील 2 पार्ट्स, सिंपल इपिथेलियल आणि कंपाऊंड इपिथेलियल टिश्यू आपण समजून घेतले. आता सिंपल इपिथेलियल टिश्यूमधलं आपण स्क्वॅमस इपिथेलियल टिश्यू इथपर्यंत शेवटचं लेक्चर आपण कंप्लीट केलं. इपिथेलियल सेकंड पार्ट आहे इपिथेलियल टिश्यूतला क्युबॉइडल epithelial tissue. Same, any tissue or any cell or any organ study with 3 sequence: location, also called as a position, then structure and function. So cuboidal epithelial tissue location is it is found in inner lining of pancreatic duct, salivary duct, proximal and distal convoluted tubules of nephron. Location of cuboidal epithelial tissue is a inner lining of pancreatic duct. In our pancreas, inner lining is made up of cuboidal epithelial tissue. Then in the salivary gland, salivary duct made from epithelial tissue and proximal and distal convoluted tubules which are present in nephron. So what is nephron? Nephron is a microscopic structural and functional unit of kidney. The microscopic structure of kidney is called as a nephron. In this nephron, PCT means proximal and distal convoluted tubules made from cuboidal epithelial tissue. The structure of cuboidal epithelial tissue is a cube shape. Cells are present. The shape of cell is like cube. See in the figure, the shape of cell is like cube, hence called as a cuboidal epithelial tissue. The spherical central nucleus is present. In this cube shaped cell, see the nucleus in the center of the cell. The shape of nucleus is spherical. The cell of this tissue filled with cytoplasm. Cyto means cell, plasm means fluid. The cell fluid is called as a cytoplasm. The whole cuboidal epithelial tissue resting on basement membrane. Basement membrane present connective tissue for the strengthening of basement membrane. The function of cuboidal epithelial tissue is absorption and secretion. Concentrated location, these are found in a salivary duct. In the salivary duct secretes the saliva, means secretion is a function of epithelial tissue. Then absorption, to absorb unwanted parts or unwanted fluid in the kidney. So simply the function of cuboidal epithelial tissue is absorption and secretion. So third part of epithelial tissue is a columnar epithelium. The location of columnar epithelium, it is found in inner lining of intestine, gallbladder, gastric gland, intestinal gland, etc. It is found in inner lining of intestine. The inner lining of intestine and gallbladder is made from a columnar epithelial tissue cells. Also, gastric glands and intestinal glands are made from columnar epithelial tissue cells. Structure of columnar epithelial tissue denoted in a name columnar. The shape of shell is a like column or a like tall pillar. The shape of this cell is a like column called as a columnar epithelium. Narrow inner end of the cells. The ending of cell is a narrow. Large number of microvilli present in lower half of cell. Concentrate all of you on the figure. The shape of cells are columnar or a pillar like narrow end. The upper side large number of microvilli is present. Inside two cells goblet cells are present. This goblet cell is responsible for secretion of mucus. Absorptive cells are also present for the absorption of tissue fluids. The all columnar tissue are resting on basement membrane. Inside the basement membrane, connective tissue are present for the strengthening of basement membrane. These are structure of columnar epithelium. Function of columnar epithelium is secretion and absorption. To secrete like saliva, then digestive juice, and absorption. Absorption of liquidous digestive fluid inside the intestine. So we are studying in columnar epithelium location, structure and function of this tissue. Next part of epithelial tissue is ciliated epithelium. Cilia present on over the upper surface of cell is called as a cilia, or hence also called as a ciliated epithelium. Location, it is found in inner lining of buccal cavity of frog, nasal cavity, trachea and oviduct of vertebrates. Inner lining of buccal cavity of frog means inner, inside the mouth of frog, then nasal cavity. Trachea and oviduct of vertebrates are the location of ciliated epithelium tissue. Structure, the shape of cell is cuboidal or columnar. Concentrate on the figure. The shape of cells is cuboidal or columnar. Free end of cells are broad, while narrow ends rest on basement membrane. Free end of cells are broad, while narrow ends rest on basement membrane. Free ends show hair-like cilia. Upper side of the cell, hair-like structure are present. This hair-like structure is called as a cilia, hence denoted as a ciliated epithelium. Then nucleus of ciliated epithelial tissue is a oval shape and placed at basal end to cell. The nucleus is placed at basal end of cell. See the nucleus in the figure. These all cells resting on a basement membrane. Function: creating currents for movement, prevention of entry of foreign particle in the trachea, push the ovum towards to oviduct. Creating current for movement. The cilia creating vibratory movement and creates a current for movement. These vibration or movements to help remove foreign particles outside of the body. Because ciliated epithelium present in a nasal cavity, when foreign particle like dust particle are enter in our nasal chamber or nasal cavity, the cilia responds the vibratory movement and creates the current. Due to these vibratory movements, these unwanted foreign particle or dust particle remove outside of the respiratory system or outside of the nasal cavity. Vibratory movement creates from cilia. This movement help the remove of particle of dust or unwanted particle which are enter in a nasal cavity. Then push the ovum towards to oviduct. Due to the vibratory movement in the female reproductive system, the ovum forward towards the oviduct with the help of cilia. Vibratory movement. These are function of ciliated epithelial tissue. Then glandular epithelium or glandular epithelial tissue. Glandular name denotes glands. The all kinds of glands made from glandular epithelial tissue. The location of glandular epithelial tissue found inner surface of gland. Structure: here the cell may be columnar, cuboidal or pyramidal in shape. The shape of cells of glandular epithelium tissue is columnar, cuboidal or pyramidal. Large basal nucleus. Nucleus is a large present basal side of cell. Secretory granules are present in the cytoplasm. Secretory fine granules present in the cytoplasm. Cyto means cell, plasm means liquid. Secretory fine granules present in the cytoplasm. The glands may be unicellular or multicellular depending on mode. Some glands are unicellular and some glands are multicellular. So what is unicellular? Unicellular glands present goblet cells of intestine which secrete mucus and lubricants. Then multicellular gland. Salivary gland is a multicellular gland. The another multicellular gland is a liver. The classification of glands in two types, duct bearing gland and ductless gland, means the glands are duct bearing is called as exocrine gland, ductless gland. Ductless gland means the duct is absent in the glands. This gland is called as endocrine glands. So what is duct bearing gland and ductless gland? See in this slide, the multicellular glands are divided into two types, endocrine gland and exocrine glands. Endocrine gland is also called as a ductless gland. Exocrine glands called as a duct bearing glands. Endocrine glands, the secretion directly in bloodstream, secretion take place inside the bloodstream. These glands are classified into a ductless gland, are also called as endocrine glands. The endocrine glands secretion directly take place in the bloodstream. Endocrine gland is called as a ductless gland. Endocrine gland secretes hormones. The endocrine gland secretes only and only hormones. The example of endocrine glands or also ductless gland is a pituitary glands, thymus gland, adrenal gland, ovary and testes. Pituitary glands is a P-shaped glands present underside of brain. Then thymus gland present upper side of heart. Then adrenal gland present above side of upper side of both kidney. Then ovary present in female reproductive system and testis present in male reproductive system. Exocrine glands. Exocrine glands also called as duct bearing glands. Duct is present because the secretion, hence called as a duct bearing gland. Exocrine glands, secretion carried out by duct or also called as a tube, responsible for body secretion. A tube inside present this gland. This tube are responsible for body secretion. Which liquid secretion? Example, enzymes, tear, saliva, gastric juice, etc. are secretion from with the help of duct, hence called as a duct bearing glands. Then detailed example is a goblet cell secretes mucous lubricant, sebaceous gland secrete oil, sudoriferous gland secretes sweet and antibacterial substance. Then salivary gland secretes saliva. These are two types of multicellular glands, endocrine glands and exocrine glands. So our topic is a glandular epithelium. We have studied structure of glands, cuboidal pyramidal shape of cells present, nucleus present in the basal side of cell, secretory granules present inside the cells. The cells are classified into unicellular, multicellular or duct bearing called as exocrine and ductless is called as endocrine. So remaining part of glandular epithelium is a function. What is a function of glandular epithelium? Function: secrete the mucus for trapping dust particle. Lubricates the inner surface of respiratory and digestive tract. Secretion of enzymes and hormones. Mucus trapping the dust particle and like bacteria kills with the mucus, which are antibacterial substance. These are glandular epithelium, location, structure and function. Today's lecture we have studied cuboidal epithelial tissue is a part of epithelial tissue. Then next part of epithelial tissue is a columnar epithelium. Then next ciliated epithelium. Then glandular epithelium. In the glandular epithelium also subtopic we have studied multicellular glands, exocrine gland and endocrine glands, etc.